In this video, we are going to see how we can give the spacing between the paragraphs and the lines in Microsoft Word. But also in this video, we are going to see that if you want to generate some random data just for your practice, if you don't have any assignment, how we can do that easily. I can use the function here. I'll write rand here. Just open the bracket, and the rand function contains two values. One is x, comma, y. This will be the formula. So the first value is how many paragraphs do you want? So for example, for this assignment, I want 5 paragraphs and each paragraph should be of, let's say 4 lines. I'll close the bracket and hit enter. I'll write equals to here, rand 5, 4 and hit enter. And now you can see that it has generated 5 paragraphs with 4 lines each. So that's awesome guys for your practice. Now what we will see that if you want to generate the spacing between the paragraphs, for example, the default spacing is of 1 line. But let's say I want to give the spacing both on the top and on the bottom equal to, let's say 2 lines. So what I'll do is I'll select this paragraph, and from the layout in the paragraphs option, I can define my spacing. Now, if you want the spacing equal to 2 lines, I write 24 points here. If you want just 1 line spacing, I'll write 12 points here. So that's how it is done. And now we can see it's 2 line spacing from both sides. Now the default space was already there. So that's why it has given the space by default here. So what you can do is you can remove the spaces from here. And now we can see that it's exactly of 2 lines equivalent of spacing. Similarly, if you want to give the spaces between the lines, as we can see that although there is by default a spacing, if I go to the home tab and check the line spacing, it's already set to 1. But 1 simply means that it is mentioned on separate lines, and by default the natural spacing is of approximately 1 line. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to read that. But if you want some additional space, what I can do is I'll go to the home tab and let's say I want 0.15 of spacing. So by default spacing is the natural one, but little bit of additional spacing can show the difference here. Now similarly, like I told you that if you want to remove the spacing before or after the paragraph, you can just select that particular paragraph and just go to the home tab and select this spacing from here, and you can add or remove the space between the paragraphs. So let's say if I remove the space, it will look something like this. And if we add the space, it will look something like this. Now also, if you want to customize it further, what you can do is just select the paragraph or multiple paragraphs, and then I can just go to the home tab and select the spacing options, and you can select your line spacing options. Here you have a one-stop shop where you can select each and every setting. You have the general settings of the left aligned, center, right justified, what we have seen on the top, and the indentation if you want this text to appear a little bit of, like this. As we can see here, it's 1 centimeter forward as compared to other paragraphs. So if you want that, you can make these settings. Only the first line, it will show something like this. The first line will start from here and then it will be normal. Similarly, how much spacing do you want? You want double spacing, you want at least spacing, multiple, or whatever. Similarly, you can apply the line and page breaks, which we will see later on. But just for your information, you can select this line spacing options and you will get all the details here. And whenever you experiment with that and we are not happy with the results, you can just click on set as default and then we are back to normal. Click OK, and now we are good to go. So just practice this by yourself and I will see you in the next one.